Game Demo!
So, this is Quantum Conundrum. This is the latest title by Square Enix and Airtight Games. It's going to be coming out next year in early 2012. Premise of the game is that you're this kid who's been dropped off on your uncle's doorstep. Hey, there's your uncle right there. And you kind of want to be there, but not really. And you walk into his house, which turns out to be this giant laboratory / manor house that's been in the family for generations. And your uncle is actually an inventor of all sorts of crazy, wacky inventions. And he owns this house, and his name is Professor Fitzquadrangle. So you get into this house, and all of a sudden there's an explosion, and you don't really know what's going on, and suddenly your uncle goes missing. So it's up to you to be able to find him and figure out where he is. Only problem is, because his house is a big giant laboratory / manor home, you can't quite get to him right away, and you have to solve all these different challenges and puzzles throughout this house. But luckily, you have the IDS device, or interdimensional shift device, on your arm, and you're able to switch dimensions on the fly whenever you want, like I'm going to show you in just a second. So I have this battery, and this represents dimension, fluffy dimension. So if I were to switch to this dimension right now, everything would turn fluffy and light. So I can switch to and from this dimension at any moment. So it looks like there's a ledge for me to get up to here, but I can't quite make it. So I'm going to try and pick up this guy here and bring it over, but it's too heavy. But if I switch to Fluffy, it suddenly turns into the plush, stuffed animal version of this chair, and I can easily pick it up and chuck it around the room however I want, because it's now 10 times lighter. So if I move this chair over here and drop it down and switch back to normal, I can jump up and out. So each dimension that you get in Quantum Conundrum allows you to basically have a new tool in your toolbox to solve these different puzzles and challenges. So there's some glass here, and I can't quite get through. What I'm going to do is grab the safe and toss it at this glass, but obviously a big, fluffy, stuffed animal safe is just not going to do it. But if I toss it and switch dimensions on the fly here, it will then switch to normal, maintain its current momentum, and break through the glass. So I'm going to go ahead and weigh this switch down with the safe. So notice that in Fluffy it's not quite heavy enough, but in normal dimension it is. So I'm going to head on to this next room. So there's some interesting stuff here, but I'll talk about it later. And go over here. So this is Dolly. Dolly is a cloning machine, and Dolly's installed in almost all of the rooms of the manor house. Professor Quadrangle likes to keep a nice clean house, and he likes to keep his experiments in order. So anytime there's a particular element missing from an experiment, she go ahead and will clone the objects. So there's this room here, and there is another ledge that I can't quite jump up on. But there's a safe here. See if these lasers kill me. Nope. And I can't pick that up, obviously. Oh, but here's a battery receptacle like I used in the previous room. So if I go back this way and go ahead and grab this fluffy battery here and try to bring it across. Oh, I guess the lasers don't like it being there. So what I'm going to do is grab this guy and put it down kind of near these lasers here. And I'm going to go over here. So it looks like there is a connection between this beam and those lasers in the other room. Yep, cool. So one thing I haven't talked about just yet is the fact that I actually have access to another dimension here, which is slow motion. So if I were to toss this box and switch to slow motion, all of a sudden everything is moving 20 times slower. So what I can do is actually use this as a timer to allow myself more time to get over there. So I'm going to drop this and then switch to slow motion, run. Oh, didn't quite make it. Let's try that again. So I'm going to line up the box here, drop it and switch to slow-mo, run over, grab the battery, and toss it in. Yay! So now that I have access to Fluffy and slow-mo, I can pick up the box and take it over, and oh, it looks like I can't get it over there just yet. So I'm going to use a similar technique where slow motion gives me more time, and toss this, switch to slow motion dimension, and while this thing is traveling through the air, run in here and block the activation beam. So now I can see it kind of flying across here. Just normal. And then switch to Fluffy, so that way I can carry it. Drop it down, switch back to normal so it won't shift around underneath me. And jump on out.